May I ask, how did you get addicted to, was it heroin at first?
Yeah.
The goal is to get people out of alleys like this and into a safe place where they can use their drug of choice.
New tonight, a packed house for a community screening of the ABC7 Originals documentary, Injecting Hope.
The idea behind Injecting Hope was to really give people an on-the-ground look at how safe consumption sites work, the impact they're having on neighborhoods and drug users. This is the heart of Vancouver's downtown east side. Take a look around. It probably looks quite similar to San Francisco's Tenderloin district, a neighborhood plagued by drug overdose deaths, homelessness, and crime. And what is your name? Tyler. Nice to meet both of you guys.
What's your situation?
I don't know, man. I'm a young adult. I'm from foster care. I've been on the streets since I was a kid. I'm from sex trafficking. So, hitchhiked across Canada. I'm here now. Escaped an abusive relationship.
I use drugs for good days, bad days, sad days, happy days.
And if Guy wasn't here using in this park, there's a good chance he was at a safe injection site. Records show he accessed Insight more than 4,000 times. We're just gonna talk. You just do what you would do. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Walk me through what safe injection looks like here. What's the most rewarding part of this job?
Seeing somebody come back from an overdose.
Actually reversing.
Mm-hmm.
The main goal here is preventing deaths associated from overdoses and the toxic drug supply.
Yeah, so what keeps you coming back?
Easy. Pain and, people say, oh, I hate the drug. I love the drug.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
Sergeant, what needs to happen in this city to address the drug overdose crisis?
Well, again, complex issues. In a complex city, there's not one simple solution.
Now, if I am somebody who's from San Francisco and I come to Vancouver and I say, hey, this is the city that's trying this. I wonder how it's working. And I take a right and I go, it doesn't look like it's working.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Well, Safe Supply is in its infancy.
Do I understand it correctly in that you're sort of saying to the city of San Francisco, let's get our ducks in a row with these other services first?
It's interesting because people often talk about Portugal as the model.
We now know in British Columbia that our overall life expectancy dropped because of overdose deaths. That's been happening across the United States for a number of years. This means this is a problem that we all have to address.
Sir! Hey, sir! Please, you okay?
I am optimistic that we will change.
You're optimistic even in the face of what is such a crisis that isn't slowing down. Still optimistic?
Hope's the anchor. You don't have hope, you don't have anything. I've always had that hope inside for my own life, and I'll have that hope inside that we can change as people.
Yeah, Dan, as you were just saying there, we were able to quickly turn around and get to the scene earlier this morning, and what we saw were people visibly shaken by what they had just experienced.
ABC7 News reporter Tara Campbell spoke with him from Kyiv and joins us now from the newsroom with a story you'll see only on 7. Tara.
Yeah, Dion, the American Red Cross isn't actually on the ground in Ukraine, but Dennis Otoshi was determined to get there, doing it on his own dime, and now he's in the thick of it. And Nasrullah has big hopes for his life here. He plans on getting his master's degree, and his wife is learning English and wants to go to college, but their future is uncertain.
Ramon gave me a quick lesson, and I quickly learned it's even harder than it looks.
He's asking, what are you feeling about doing this work?
It's hard. I can feel my hands already very tense.
So imagine doing this for 7 hours.
No, I can't imagine doing it for 5 more minutes.
ABC7 News reporter Tara Campbell with how police finally cracked the case and what we know about the suspect.
Footage from more than 3 decades ago. ABC7 News there for the funeral of 6-year-old Jeremy Stoner, abducted near his family's Vallejo home in 1987. His body found days later on Sherman Island in Sacramento County.
We are in the process, as we have been for the last several days, of going throughout that area and looking for suspicious people, anything that may be suspicious that has come through that area.
That year, police did arrest and charge a man with murder and kidnapping, but the case was dismissed, and the investigation then went cold for decades. That is, until this week. Solano County District Attorney Krishna Abrams announcing Friday a new suspect in custody, identified using DNA technology. In a statement, she said, "I am so thankful to have such dedicated cold case investigators that no matter how much time goes by, they remain steadfast in their commitment to solving these horrific cases." Jim Hammer is a former San Francisco assistant district attorney.
The second level is think about the guy who was wrongly accused of this. I mean, a man stood falsely accused of rape and murder of a young boy. I can't imagine a worse false accusation.
Now, this week, investigators arresting Fred Kane III at his home in Central Point, Oregon. He'll be transferred to Solano County to face a murder charge. He's also accused of kidnapping and sodomy.
But if DNA is collected properly and everyone follows procedure, there's, in my mind, no better evidence in the world because it can prove conclusively who committed this crime.
And perhaps soon, some long-awaited closure for this community. Tara Campbell, ABC 7 News.
It was like 2 weeks before they passed away. We were at the nail shop. We had a nail shop day.
Photos of Leo spread across the kitchen table. Sarah remembering her son as he was.
This was on Thanksgiving, our last Thanksgiving. I think Dad was tickling their toes.
Yeah, it's a big smile. A lot of laughter.
Yeah.
Is that often how you think of him?
Always. So happy.
12-year-old Leo died by suicide last year, not too long after asking to change his name and pronouns.
They just wanted to be themselves and be accepted, and we had to stop going around certain people because I didn't want to put my kid in that position to where somebody's going to say something to make them uncomfortable because it's our job to protect them.
Mom and Dad, big brother, cousins, aunts, and uncles loving as Leo emerged.
That's when we went to get glasses. They didn't want the girly glasses, the Disney collection. They wanted these ones because they look like Superman's glasses.
Describing her son as a caring and creative kid, crafting a gift for a friend the day he died.
I think that's the last thing I said was, "I love you, I'm proud of you for making that. Good job." Because I don't know.
Sarah keeping the memories close and sharing her message in hopes of helping other families.
All kids deserve to be who they want or whatever they want, because I told them that all the time, my kids, and I mean that.
But still, Leo began to retreat, stopped going to school. Sarah at a loss.
I had 3 jobs at that time, and I quit 2 of them because I'm not going to leave my kid home alone or by themselves.
Finding some peace in a poem written by Leo and published in the school yearbook.
Rain, a very satisfying sound and a very relaxing noise. Probably the most calming thing ever.
Do you ever wish it would rain all day, every day? Whether Leo is here with us in person or not, he's still a part of our Bret Harte community.
Shauna Condit Gordon is the principal at Bret Harte Middle School in Hayward and says Leo's legacy will be lasting.
It was very important to us to find some way to honor his memory and acknowledge that he was on the path towards going to high school and completing his education.
And on this day of graduation, a chair for Leo placed among his peers and a principal's call for more mental health supports.
The ratio, though, of students to counselors is just not sufficient right now. We've got 2 academic counselors for a student population of almost 600.
And the LGBTQ+ community among the most vulnerable. According to a 2022 national survey by the Trevor Project, more than 50% of transgender and non-binary youth seriously considered attempting suicide.
The door open, even if the child's resisting.
Cynthia Garcia is a school counselor and says there are signs to watch for.
The biggest one is a change in mood, change in what they're doing. If they stop doing things that they love, they're isolating themselves, are usually like some of the main factors that really could, start getting some red flags.
And if you do see signs or have concerns, she says to start by listening.
So just being a non-judgmental listener is a great first step. Just listen to your child and say, I'm here to listen. I may not understand everything you're going through, but I'm here to listen.
Leo was gentle, kind, and funny.
Sarah holding on, a mom still in mourning, and a moment of silence for her son.
To honor the memory of Leo.
Tara Campbell, ABC 7 News. There are 2 safe consumption sites in New York City. One of them is right here behind me. Both of them are operated by a nonprofit called On Point.
So we're putting in an oral or a nasal airway, make sure the oxygen we're pumping in is getting to the right place.
The pace is fast and the purpose is clear: save lives and connect drug users to services they need, from treatment to medical care, a shower, and laundry. On Point is operating the first sanctioned safe consumption sites in the U.S., one location in Harlem and the other in Washington Heights. And more than a dozen of San Francisco's local leaders are taking notes, from city supervisors to the San Francisco Fire Department, public health, and the nonprofits hoping to operate safe consumption sites in San Francisco. Lydia Branston is the executive director of the Gubbio Project.
I think the biggest takeaway is how intentionally everything is done, right? That this is not a fly-by-night operation. This operation is very intentional, it's very skilled, and the people here really know what they're doing.
Anybody who walked into the drop-in center?
Sam Rivera is the executive director of On Point and says properly trained staff is key.
We're not in there just letting it happen. We're really tough on how we operate these services.
So 4 milligram naloxone spray, I'm sure you're all aware of this life-saving drug.
Since opening nearly a year and a half ago, On Point staff has overseen more than 55,000 drug injections or inhalations and reversed more than 700 overdoses. It has also connected more than 2,200 people to treatment.
We know that an opioid overdose is the central nervous system slowing down. Eventually, we stop breathing.
Ray Samuelson is an overdose prevention specialist.
So 80% of the overdoses, all we have to do is put on an oxygen mask connected to one of our oxygen tanks. A sternum rub, a trap squeeze, some pain stimulus, take a big breath, take a big breath. That's all we're gonna have to do. That's really the beauty of this site. We're here with people the second the needle goes in the arm, the second the dose is taken.
I prepared my, oh, it's already in the needle.
Sam says he feels safer using his drugs under supervision.
Yeah, it's cocaine with heroin mixed.
And you're going to inject that here?
Inject it, yes, here. Here is no other better place than here. I tell you the truth.
How often do you come here, Sam?
Every day.
Where would you be doing this otherwise?
Basically in the bathroom by myself.
Now, another point of interest for this group from San Francisco is what's happening on the streets outside of the safe consumption sites. How is it impacting the local neighborhoods? They'll be getting a look at that as well.
What's going on inside is really important, and I think it's saving lives. But that's not going to work if it's creating a mess outside.
Supervisor Matt Dorsey noticing clean streets and very little open-air drug use.
And one thing that really came through here is this organization running the overdose prevention centers in New York is absolutely committed to being a good neighbor and a good partner with the New York City Police Department.
It's clean now, but before, people all over, dude, you walk around here, you see rigs everywhere. There'd be needles everywhere.
Fred is battling depression and addiction and says he does access the safe consumption sites and that they've also changed the streets.
You can go to a park, kids can go to a park here, anything. It wasn't safe. People are dying. Pretty much you can walk over a body here. That's how it was.
And since the safe consumption site
it's changed a hell of a lot.
Safe consumption sites are illegal under federal law, but the New York model could provide a path forward. These sites are funded by private donations, not city dollars, making the city, in theory, less liable. Supervisor Ronan, you're getting a really good look at these safe consumption sites here in New York City. How do you think this will move the ball forward in bringing sites to San Francisco?
I do. We now have a whole group of advocates from San Francisco who have seen these centers in real life and have proof.
Tara Campbell, ABC 7 News.